guys, welcome to my channel. For today I'll be showing you guys a DIY table runner. First time doing it, so along the way I made a few mistakes. I'll explain them as I go on in this video, but for right now I'm just blowing up a bunch of balloons. I did have a machine for it. Unfortunately it was just way too loud for my newborn to take in, so I decided to just use a pump for now, just so it didn't disturb her. That being said, I am going to give a giveaway on that pump, the balloon pump, and all you gotta do is like this video, subscribe to this channel, and leave a comment down below in this video. By the way guys, for everything that I use, I will be leaving a link down below in the description on everything I use, so and where I got them from. Majority of the items that I did get were from Amazon, which is the balloons and the foliage, or should I say the flowers that I use to decorate it. Everything else I got at Target and Home Depot. So if you look at this little stick, I guess we can call it, for those of you who don't know the actual name of it, I didn't before I started creating this. It's actually called a vinyl corner bead that I got at Home Depot. There's a bunch of different kinds of vinyl corner beads. Some have a sharp edge, and this one had a rounded edge, which is what I went for because of the fact that I thought for this purpose it would just work a lot better for me. So that's what I used, and their options were, I believe, 8 feet and 10 feet, and I went with the 8 feet option, and then in the end I ended up cutting it short to about 7 feet, just because I didn't want to use so many balloons for this project. So as you can see here, I'm cutting it down just a little bit, and when I worked on it, I was working on it from one end to the other. At this point I already got it to a method that I wanted to do, so what I did, I decided to cut them off to about 7 feet and I think about 4 inches. And what I decided to do was actually start at the middle. So what I did after blowing up all these balloons, I tied all 3 balloons together. Towards the end of this video, I did a close-up of exactly how I did everything, but that's what I did. I just start tying up all these balloons, and once I did that, I started off at the center, which was so much easier than starting from one end, because you have kind of like a base and then you can work off of that. As you can see here, I'm starting off at the center as I stated, and what I'm doing is that I have a starting point. So let's say I want the white to be the middle at first, and then if I have, for example in this case, I have the blue starting first with the white on the left side and then the blue on the right side, and what I do, I turn them clockwise as I go up the pole, or up the bead I should say, and what I did, because this corner bead has these little holes in them, I then tie them with the ribbon and put them through the holes and then tie them on the back, which ended up being such an easy task. And like I said, towards the end of the video, I show a close-up of how I did everything. These flowers, I ended up getting them on Amazon. Best purchase I think I've made. With everything combined, I could easily tell you that I did not spend more than $100 on everything, minding the fact that I didn't even use everything. Now, if I wanted to do more tables, I only needed to do 3 tables for this project. If I wanted to do about 5, I could have easily done it with all the stuff that I had for this project. So at this point, what I'm doing, I ended up cutting off all the strips of flowers that were attached to the stems, and one by one I put the end of the stem into these holes that worked perfectly to fit in them, so I didn't have to use glue or ribbon or anything. And then what I did, I started to wrap them around the balloons, and I did, I believe, 8 stems of flowers for the whole one arrangement. So what I did, I just started off with the purple, I think, then I did white, and then I ended off with the blue. And then what I actually did, these little leaves, I cut them off, and I didn't put them in the hole, but because the flowers at this point were really tight, they kind of held up on their own without having to do any extra work on them. So that's pretty much how they looked, and I just repeated the same process with the other 2. Another thing I would like to mention, once I put them on the wall just to stand up and have them out of the way, I realized that it made a nice background. So maybe if I did do 5 of these, it would have been a nice backdrop for pictures. So what we ended up doing for the engagement, when we had to place more things on the table, we picked them up and placed it behind those who got engaged for the pictures, which worked out so perfectly. So in order to show the close-up, I used the remaining beads that I cut off. Like I said, I only used about 7 feet, and that extra foot, I used it to make this demonstration here. What I ended up doing, I made smaller balloons just to show you the difference between making them a little bit bigger. Honestly, I think you can make them smaller and I think they would look a lot better, but that's just me. It ended up looking really nice for the purpose of the arrangements, which was for an engagement. but I think smaller would have been better, just so more things could fit on the table. I just wanted to tell you that, to keep that in mind. So as you can see, I tied the ribbon on the desired balloon I wanted to start off with, which was, I believe, white in this case. And then I just poked them through the hole and gave them a double knot. And as you can see, I alternated it. So it was white first, then I used purple, and then blue, white, purple, blue, and then just keep alternating, as you can see. I also want to make mention that the closer or the tighter you make them, the more it will lift and do more of a triangular shape. And the looser you do it, it would lay a little flatter, just to keep in mind. And like I said, you know, just because it's a little ribbon, if you don't like how loose or how tight it is, you can always cut it and do it again. So I hope you guys liked this video. I hope it was informative, and if you guys do this project, I hope that this video has helped you guys. Thank you, and have a good one.